Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Tim Schaeffer. I'm the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. Welcome to our Fort Hunter Public Access area here along the scenic Susquehanna River. In the Harrisburg area, this is one of the busiest boat launches we have, as hundreds of people will use this access each week to kick off a fun summer day of trophy smallmouth bass fishing or a leisurely paddle down to City Island. If you've never visited here in the summer, my best advice is to get here early, be courteous to others at the ramp, and please keep our facilities clean so that others can enjoy this place just as much as you have. For responsible anglers and boaters, all of these things go without saying, and we thank you for being great stewards to this access area and to the nearly 300 others like it that we have across Pennsylvania. I'd like to begin this morning by recognizing Fish and Boat Commissioner B.J. Small, who represents the 6th District. We have 10 commissioners statewide. Really happy that B.J. is your representative here for South Central Pennsylvania, as well as Officer Mark Sweppenhiser, who's going to be making a few remarks of his own. Mike Parker, our press secretary and communications director, is here if you have any questions following up. The reason we're here today is because the Independence Day weekend is almost here. While boating can be enjoyed year-round in many parts of Pennsylvania, the 4th of July truly is the heart of the season, typically drawing large crowds to our rivers and lakes. We love to see boaters having a great time with family and friends around the holiday, but we also want everyone to remain safe and make smart decisions. I'll begin with the number one thing that boaters can and should do on the water when setting out on any boating adventure: wear your life jacket. Law requires that you have a life jacket on board for every person on your boat. Children ages 12 and under must always wear a life jacket when aboard a boat less than 20 feet in length, and including when they're on board all canoes, kayaks, and paddleboards. In 2019, 57 recreational boating accidents resulted in 8 fatalities. 7 of the 8 victims in 2019 were not wearing a life jacket at the time of the mishap, resulting in death. According to our boating statistics report, year in and year out, about 80% of all boating fatalities occur annually because people were simply not wearing their life jacket. Life jackets must be U.S. Coast Guard approved and properly fit the individual, including children and infants. And you can check if it's Coast Guard approved by opening up the life jacket. We can show you that here. If you hear those statistics and think that it could never happen to me, please think again. Just last week, we unfortunately recorded our 6th fatal boating accident of 2020. According to our officer's report, a group of 5 people were kayaking in the Susquehanna River about an hour north of here in Columbia County. Witnesses say that a 24-year-old friend was seen falling into the water and never came back up. 2 days later, the victim's body was recovered. While the investigation continues, we know 2 things. The victim was not wearing a life jacket, and no one in the group had a life jacket on board their kayak as required by law. Please wear your life jacket. These are the tragic stories we're trying to prevent by being here today. It's no secret that in the wake of COVID-19, more Pennsylvanians than ever are getting outdoors and either discovering or rediscovering their love for fishing and boating. As an agency, we have seen a dramatic increase in the number of boat launch permits being sold this year, and many sporting goods stores have been sold out of kayaks for weeks at a time due to high demand. While these might be viewed as good problems to have, we can also conclude that many first-time paddlers will be sharing the water with us this summer. As a boating community, it's up to all of us to keep each other safe and remind each other to follow basic safety measures when we enjoy the water. I'd like to turn things over now to our local Waterways Conservation Officer, to Mark Sweppenhiser, to go through a few more safety tips.
Thank you, Director Schaeffer. Good morning, everyone. From fishermen on bass boats, kayakers enjoying a paddle, pontoon operators, jet skis, power boats pulling water skiers, the water belongs to all of us. It is everyone's responsibility to make sure we remain safe on the water. Please never boat under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Simply put, boating impairs and increases the chance of an accident. Just like operating a motor vehicle on the highway, in Pennsylvania, a person operating a boat is over the legal limit if they're 0.08 or higher. Alcohol affects balance, coordination, judgment. BUI penalties include loss of boating privileges, significant fines, and imprisonment. This holiday weekend, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission will participate in Operation Dry Water. This naturally coordinated effort aims to prevent boating accidents and fatalities through education and enhanced BUI enforcement. If you plan to drink as part of your holiday celebrations on the water, please choose a designated boat operator. Please note that alcohol is prohibited in all Fish and Boat Commission lakes as well as Pennsylvania state parks. Another basic safety measure you can take this summer is to have a float plan. Send a text, write a note, let someone know where you're planning to boat, when you expect to return. Plans can change when you're having fun, but keeping someone aware of your location throughout the day can ensure that helps arrive quickly if you experience a mechanical or medical emergency. Carry a dry bag, keep your cell phone and other valuables in while you're boating. Map out where you'll be putting in and taking out, and be aware of any dams along your water trail, and pay attention to posted warnings along the way. Be sure to check the weather forecast. This weekend we're looking for low 90s, chance of thunderstorms. Summer's fast-moving storms can cause water levels to rise quickly and become dangerous. High water conditions can affect visibility and high submerged obstacles such as logs and rocks that could cause you to capsize. Thank you. I'll now turn it over to Director Schaeffer.
Thanks, Mark. I'd again like to thank everybody who came today. By working together, we can spread the word about safe boating and save lives here in Pennsylvania. To learn more about fishing and boating in Pennsylvania, including where to take a basic boating course, information about Fish for Free Day on Saturday, July 4th, please visit our website at fishandboat.com or our mobile app at FishBoatPA, spelled just like it sounds. You can go to either of those locations to get your fishing license. If you're new to kayaking or canoeing and need a launch permit, you can pick up one of those there. What you'll receive is a receipt with a number on it. We'll then mail you a copy of the permit, but as long as you have that number and that receipt, you're good to go to hit the water. You can also renew your boat registrations online through either of those locations. At this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
On the matter of life jackets,
Yep.
You always run across the guy who says, I don't need a life jacket, I'm a really strong swimmer. What do you tell people?
Well, I tell people that I used to be that guy too. I really was that guy. You think, what's the big deal? You're in a canoe or a kayak, what could happen? Well, lots can happen when you're on the water. We've got multiple examples. We set an example earlier this year in western Pennsylvania where a gentleman had a heart attack in a boat, otherwise seemingly healthy, went in the water and didn't make it. If he had had that life jacket on to keep him afloat, he may have made it. So accidents do happen on the water. It can happen to anybody.
You talked about a lot of people being out for the first time
Yeah.
because of COVID-19. Just talk about the uptick you guys have seen, and then some of the warnings you want to give to those
Sure.
first-time boaters who may be out there discovering for the first time.
Absolutely. So you can't go anywhere these days without seeing brightly colored kayaks on tops of the cars. If you look around the creeks and the rivers in the area, whether it's the Susquehanna or the Yellow Breach or the Conneaut, there are boats everywhere. We're glad that people are having fun, but we also want them to be safe. In addition to the life jacket wear we talked about, a really helpful thing for anybody to do is to take a basic boating course. Anybody who's born after 1982 who operates a 25 horsepower or more boat, and anybody who operates, regardless of age, a personal watercraft, needs to take a basic boating course and have a boating safety certificate. You can do that online. Again, go to fishandboat.com and you can get started on that basic boating course. But again, the number one thing we like to say is wear your life jacket. That's the biggest thing. When you buy the boat, make sure you also buy a life jacket. And be mindful of what Officer Sweppenhiser was talking about boating under the influence. It applies to unpowered boats as well as power boats. Have a good time, but be safe.
And you said boaters should look out for each other and take care. How can they do that?
Sure. It's called a float plan. It doesn't need to be anything elaborate, but let someone know where you're going to be. If you're going to be out with a group of friends and say you're putting in here at Fort Hunter and you're planning to go to City Island, let someone know where you're going to be. Give them the approximate times when you think you'll arrive. If you see somebody on the water that's not behaving properly, remind them of what to do. If you're at the boat ramp and you're getting ready to go and you say, oh my gosh, there's no life jackets in the boat, let them know that they are required for everybody on board. So give them a couple safety tips to make sure that they return home safely.
Can you tell us more about the Fish for Free Days? We haven't really touched on it.
Sure, Fish for Free Day, we have 2 of those that are legislatively permitted every year. This year, the second one will be on 4th of July. The first one was over the Memorial Day holiday. And it's a great way for people to give fishing a shot if they've never tried it for the first time. Go out, if you like it, you can go back onto our website, fishandboat.com, or the mobile app, Fishboat PA, get your license and enjoy fishing for the rest of the summer.
Good.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.